Welcome back to the channel, guys and gals. Well, it's another day, and as some of y'all have seen, I have some projects that I am working on. And one of them is the Diesel Tender number 2. Oh, y'all like my coffee mug? Kind of interesting. Found it on eBay for, gave like $8, $16 in total for 2 of them. One for me, one for Rogue. Go order some more for each one of my boys. Um, so some of the projects that I have been working on, like Diesel Tender number 2 for the Menards F7 Union Pacific, also known as a Gus Hadley Special. This one right here, once I get completely done with it, get the bottom on it, get the trucks on it, which is the reason I'm going to the train show on Saturday to see if I can pick up the wheels and some other little detail parts I need. Because we got some projects going on, I want to get them finished up. And then I got the long tender for the 2025, which you can kind of see in the, well, and I'm not sure, well, on my video end, it's the lower left center shelf over there. And I'm going to be building a long tender for it. And I've got 2 extra shells, and that'll end up to finish up all the long tenders and diesel tenders. And then we have the second set of articulated cattle cars that I am building. I got to get some different metal because I'm actually designing those and redesigning the system for the articulate so it has a better platform compared to the originals, and the originals will get a new platform as well. So those are some of the little minor projects I'm working on. Then I have some more builds coming up where, well, when you have spare parts, and sometimes you get creative, I've got 2 of the Lionel cabooses, and I got another shell around here somewhere, and I'm going to wind up building a military U.S. Navy style long caboose. I don't know if I'm going to actually put them at 2.5 inches wide, because that is a lot of splitting. I have done that before, and it is a undertaking. Of course, I will raise them a 1/4 inch to bring them to more scale. Even if I do it that way, it's kind of a short one. But we can go right here, you know, a little bit longer. And do some extra detail and work on it. It'll make some pieces and square stock and stuff like that. So that'll be coming to the channel pretty soon on that one. And I made a mistake when I went and picked up all the wood for the projects I was working on. And I have to go back to Hobby Lobby to go pick up one more piece of wood. And that is this one right here. This was my very first kit bash on this channel in O-scale. And as some of y'all might remember, oh God, 2-3 years ago, I think it was, I'll be honest with you, it's been so long, I couldn't tell you. This started out as 2 Pennsylvania baggage cars. And I was looking at them, I'm like, well, I couldn't sell them, I couldn't get my money back. Because the guy said they were O-scale, and come to find out they were O27. So I decided to do a kit bash on them. And since I am a fan of the F&M Railroad and NDM Railroad out of Mexico, I decided to build a somewhat kinky Shero style car. And I noticed that some of the cars I used was also American cars that had been retrofitted or, you know, taken care of. So this one, I am actually going to be taking it and I'm fixing to get ridiculed for this one, but yes, it is going to be getting cut apart again. One, it needs to come up a 1/4 inch so that it lines up with the rest of the other scratch builds. And that also is going to mean that the body's coming up, the windows might get enlarged just a little bit. And I'm going to redo the roof on it so it actually has more of the flatter profile roof, and bring it to a true 2.5, because when I did this, originally it was 2 inches wide, and or 2 inches wide, sorry. And I was like, okay, yeah, I didn't do it right. My bad. So what happened? Well, I misjudged what I was doing, and so this car wound up being, well, just over 2.5. So it's a little wider than what it needs to be scale. Outside edge to outside edge is barely over 2.5. I mean, just like 1/8 of an inch. You can't really tell it. I can. It irritates me. So that will have to be addressed and fixed. And then once this comes up, this body line itself right here, this will come up 1/4 inch, and that'll bring this striping and everything into play right with the other ones. Roof, I'm going to completely cut this completely off and start over with a whole brand new roof system. And probably enlarge the rear door. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun project. Too much bracing under the underside. And here, the inside of it, I just didn't ever get around to finish painting it or putting the windows in. So I want to get that done. I don't think it's going to be due for a whole new repaint because the striping on this one just did not come out as well as I would have liked. And that irritates me. And the trucks on it are not scale. These Corsos were 027. So I want to see if I can find some different trucks for it and maybe use these somewhere else. It has been a fun one on this channel as far as some of the stuff that we've done. This little car right here has been probably had 100 miles put on it since I first built it, but it's still one that irritates me just because of the fact it didn't turn out as good as it should have. Yeah, but that'll all be fixed in time. So yeah, that's one of the projects coming up. One of the other projects that is be coming up here shortly, as time progresses and I have more time to work on it. Let me move these right here. Sorry about that. I promise, no, there's no train coming. I don't know too many people that drink out of a train. Unless you're a hobo. And we don't have too many of those in the U.S. anymore. Class 35 Hymic. As you can tell, the wheels, the original wheels and trucks have been taken off of. This is the one known as HMS Hood. What I will be doing is taking a set of Lionel 3-rail pickup system, which I was able to get off of eBay for a very cheap price, and I do have the other end which has the motor on it, and these will be mounted basically like right here, and the motor will be put up in there as well, wired in, and modifications so that everything works like it's supposed to and look like it's supposed to up here on the front of the truck, which means a whole lot of metal working. So I figured HMS Hood would be the great starting point to give me what I need to know. I did contact Helgen Train Works over in Britain about some 3-wheel trucks, and they sent me to another site to talk to them, and it's been a go-around. So there again, I'm now at a point where I'm going to have to do it myself. No big deal. Only thing that's going to really stink about it is the fact that the metal working I'm fixing to have to do, along with doing a lot of brass soldering, it is something I have not done in a very long time, which really stinks because it's one of those deals I haven't done. It's been years since I've done this type of work. Here is the original wheel sets to it. And as if you notice, on the front of it, don't know how well it's going to be picked up in the camera, but there is actually a step right here. So I've got to modify that and actually recreate this whole front section to slide onto the Lionel system. And the rear bogie, I've got to recreate just a little bit back there. Same thing again. Yeah, this one's going to be an undertaking. So this one's going to be as I can work on it, not anything real fast, because this one's going to take a while. That one's going to take a little bit. So that's where we are at. And as y'all can tell, I am kind of moving around on some projects right now. The moving around is primarily just getting things done, one project at a time. You know, some are moving faster than others, and the ones that are getting done faster, I can knock them out pretty fast, and that makes things a lot nicer and gets a lot of the stuff done. But definitely, you know, slowly but surely, all the projects are getting done. And there's going to be a ton of leftover parts. I mean, just things that haven't been used. So those are things we'll have to look at at a later date. What to do with them? You know, maybe sell them off. People that need parts or scrap pieces or whatever. You know, just make maybe one big lot and just say, here you go. You know. So yes, just lots and lots of building time. We got the big mountain we're still working on. That one right there is probably at least another 1 or 2 cans of foam before I start carving on it. And then my son and I will start working on carving out the mountain and the water scene and putting trees and doing the work to it. One thing at a time, one project. It's just maybe kind of bouncing around a little bit just so y'all don't get bored of seeing one particular project. But we'll keep going. As always, keep the shiny side up, rubber down. I'll see you on the next video sometime later this week. We'll shoot for Friday. Very busy. If I don't see y'all by Friday, you will definitely see a video from me on Saturday from the train show in Grapevine, Texas, which my kids and I will be at, and be the first time we've attended a train show since Dad passed 7 years ago. And it was definitely time to go do some stuff. Again, thank you all for being here. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Very, very heartfelt. And I have the best subscribers in the world right here on this channel. And you all family. Thank you all for being here. I will see y'all then. Have a wonderful rest of your week.